guys, Jim Irwin here. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Dorothy Marsico, a lifetime hunter and a lifetime user of Leupold Optics. Dorothy, we call you Grandma Dot because you've invited me into your family due to your granddaughter and being my new fiance. So she told me a couple stories about you early on. I'm like, no way. It's like, that's impossible. Oh, my grandma, she's been hunting her whole life and still been hunting at 88, 92 years old. And I didn't believe her until I met you. Why don't you tell us a couple stories about how you grew up, where you grew up, and what got you into hunting?
I got married to Jim, and he was in the Air Force, and he wanted to go hunting.
Like all the time?
All the time. Every season. Spring, fall, winter, they had it. And I didn't want to be at home alone, like a golf widow.
Yeah.
So I said, take me along. Well, you don't know how to shoot. Well, show me how, you know. And he did. And I got to be just as good as he, if not better.
Right. And it also got you a pretty lofty nickname, did it not?
Yes, they called me One Shot Dot.
One Shot Dot, because you just didn't miss, did you?
I shoot them and they fall over dead.
Where did you meet Grandpa Jim?
I met him in Cleveland, Ohio, and he was on recruiting duty, and he got reassigned out here to California, and he said, will you marry me? And I said, oh yeah.
Well, if I may ask, what year was that?
I was trying to think. It was either 1951 or 50.
So either in the early 50s,
yeah.
You met Grandpa Jim and fell in love and moved to California and started to learn how to hunt. And
he would rent the rifles, and we would go up to Truckee, California, and we met some people up there that had a gas station and cabins right on the Truckee River, and they would let us stay in their cabins free, and it ended up very good friends of ours.
And you did a lot of hunting up in the Truckee area?
When we first went up, when we were leaving, driving down the road on 89, some guy was walking down the hill with a great big mule deer, and my husband, oh boy, he's going, this is the place.
Okay.
And we talked to another lady who lived along the river if we could stay at her place in the wintertime. You know, it was snow on the ground when hunting season, October. Every morning we'd get up early and hike up the mountain. We had no idea where we were going, where it would end. We would hunt the top. You have to go in the morning, be there before the sun rises, be on top, and look down and hunt down. And we always got our animals.
What was the very first gun that you used with Grandpa Jim?
270. It was a rented gun.
A rented?
Yes, a rented gun.
270.
And it didn't have a scope.
Okay.
And my husband decided to own his own gun shop and make his own guns in Novato, California.
Oh, all right.
He would go to order the stocks, the bear stocks out of herders, and then fit them to the customer, and then carve them. And
he would actually hand carve them.
And then he would get the action, the barrel and the action from different places, maybe herders too.
Custom build the rifle.
Yeah, and custom build a rifle, and he had a lot of customers, more than he needed. We went hunting all the time. If the season was there, he didn't care. If he was working, he took time off.
Right.
I am a school teacher, teaching the second grade, and I told the man who hired me, I said, I have to have hunting season off. What do you mean hunting season off? You have to have a substitute or I can't take the job. I have to have at least 2 weeks. School's just starting. And here I leave the classroom, go hunting.
You got to have priorities in life, and I think that's an awesome one.
When we had our first boy, what are you going to do with him? We don't have a babysitter, so we put him in a Chiquita banana box. They're long and narrow. Put the pillow in there, put the kid in there, grab the handles and walk up the mountain with him and set him down. We would have got
So you'd walk up the mountain with your baby in the chiquita banana box and then
Yeah.
set them down while you were hunting?
Yes.
I don't know if we can get away with that today.
No, you
I
wouldn't.
wish we could, because that's just awesome.
You couldn't get away with that.
Grandpa Jim finishes up his tour with the Air Force, did some construction work, contract work, and then when did he decide to become a full-time gunsmith?
After the construction of the building, it was completed, and that was it. So he got another little shop, little store, and he was a gunsmith because he knew about guns. And what he didn't know, he read about, and he could remember everything he read, every print, every period.
It's a nice attribute to have,
Yeah.
for sure.
If somebody came into the shop, he was in the back room, he could hear the doorbell, and he would come out wiping his gun in case it was a robber,
Okay.
because you never know,
Absolutely.
you know.
But what was your first hunt? What was the first animal you got to harvest?
The first animal I got to hunt was a mule deer.
What was mule deer?
Yes,
And that was up in the Truckee area?
yes.
And you used the rented, that's right, because you guys got something every time you went out. That's
Well, we
incredible. I
had
wish I
guns
had-
by then because my husband was making them.
Okay, so he took you from the rented 270, and then at some point he decided that Grandma One Shot Dot needed her own custom rifle, right?
Right.
So if I'm correct, this is it, isn't it?
That's
So
it.
he took you. When did he give this to you? Was it a birthday present, a Christmas present, or just like, Grandma Dot, you need your own rifle?
That's Grandma
Honey,
Dot, you
you've
need
been
your own
honey.
rifle. I didn't think I needed a 30-06, but he said you need a 30-06, and that's when he put the Leupold dust scope.
Okay.
And I'd say that it was in the 70s, a long time ago.
So when you first showed me this rifle, I actually took a picture of the scope and did a trip up to Leupold in Oregon and showed this picture to their vice president of sales. And he told me that this scope was from like 1971 to 74 time frame.
Yeah,
So
it was-
You got
they
it in
built
the early 70s.
Yes, I did,
And you've had this scope ever since? And it's
ever
been true to
since.
you?
Yeah.
Always been using Leupold.
Yeah.
Huh? So lifetime of hunts, lifetime of memories on this one scope.
We went hunting every fall. And then when my son went to Wyoming, we went to Wyoming to go hunting. And there we could hunt elk and bear, and we got both, and mule deer. Now I shot an elk, and I got a ring.
Oh yeah. Is that one of the ivories?
That's one of the teeth.
One of the teeth?
Yeah, that's prize if you take the tooth out. They go one on each side.
Okay.
And the hide, Jim had it tanned, and I got the skin, and I took it to a sewing shop,
Okay.
and I asked her, how do you do this, you know? And she said, well, she'll show me how to cut it out.
Okay.
And she let me work in her shop doing it, and she'd give me pointers about what to do next.
You made a vest out of it.
Yeah, I
out
made a
of this elk,
vest out
didn't
of
you?
it, yeah.
Can you see that?
This is my vest.
Out of one of your elk.
Yep.
That's pretty darn nice.
So soft.
I bet.
It's warm too.
Yeah, and you used to wear it around. Did you wear it on hunts too, or just
Yeah.
around town?
You know, and down.
out the ranch, or
Even here.
even here? Well, yeah, with the weather out here. I bet
Yeah.
that is. So you got your custom rifle in the early 70s, and so you've got 35 or 40 years of hunting with this one.
I
scope
hunted until 89.
until 89. You got your last.
Yeah.
You got your last
hell.
hunt into 89. And was that with a bow or with a rifle?
That was with both. I was with both. When I took up bow hunting, I thought, well, it'd be easier to carry around. Well, it takes a heavy thrust to get the bow into the animal.
Correct. So your pull
And-
weight was probably pretty high then.
Well, I got a 50-pound pull bow, and that was all I could do. And sometimes it would bounce off.
Okay.
So I decided to stick to the rifle.
Well, you picked an excellent optic.
Yeah, I
US
got-
made. Lifetime warranty on their scopes, all their scopes. There's gold rings are phenomenal scopes. And did you ever have to send it in for repair, or is it just? I'm sure you've dropped this down more mountains than I've ever climbed.
There was a shop in Petaluma. These two old fellows with beards, they would look at scopes and everything, and I had them look at mine, but They said it was fine, you know.
Well, I've looked through it and it's still crystal clear. It's just this is like a legacy piece in my opinion. It's something that's been in for as long as I've been alive, and it's still crystal clear and in great condition. And Grandma Dot's not a safe queen by any stretch of the imagination. She gets these things out, she uses them, beats them up. There's actually a crack in this custom stock that has been fixed ever since. But a legacy and an attribute to your lifestyle and the journey you've had with it, and then also to the quality and the build of the Leupold brand, and the fact that they're just still holding true to what they say.
I was hunting with my husband one day in Wyoming, and I saw a deer, and he was laying down, and his head was on the fallen log, and I thought, I would just shoot him in the eye, and I did. And I thought, geez.
Did everybody question you on that, if you could do it?
No.
I wouldn't have either.
I thought, oh gosh, I did it right in his eye, you know. That's a Leupold scope for you.
Go. Well, as you know, I think your granddaughter that I'm soon to marry is taking and following your footsteps, and definitely has your genes.
Good.
Because she's outshot me a couple times already, and I think it's awesome.
Does she have a Leupold scope?
Yes, ma'am, she does. Every gun we have has a Leupold scope, and every gun that I have is now hers. It's weird.
Man, my husband had a lot of guns, and he sold guns, and they all had Leupolds on them. But he made them custom made, every one.
All right, Grandma. Well, I think we're all done, and I really
Okay.
appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Some wonderful stories.
Thanks. I can't believe that all that time went by,
Goes by quick.
like
huh?
yesterday.
Been fun though.
Oh, yeah.
Great journey.